Good afternoon. Thank you for staying with NTV. This is NTV at 1. My name is Gladys Gashanja. Now, over 800,000 people in the larger Turkana region are in urgent need of relief food. The situation is spread across 120 villages. People have run out of food and water, and there is an acute lack of livestock pasture due to swarms of locusts that invaded soon after the short rains, aggravating a situation that was already grave due to a failure of the short rains.
This is the extensive Turkana County, and apart from a few shrubs, residents here have not known any type of crop growth in a long time. The situation has worsened due to low rainfall and a locust infestation resulting in the destruction of vegetation, food crops and pasture. Areas most ravaged by the drought are villages like Kalapata in Turkana South, Kirio in Turkana Central, Lapur in Turkana North and Songot in Turkana West. One by one, they queued under the scorching sun to get some relief food. The situation here has been getting worse by the day, affecting humans and livestock alike. More than 800,000 people need food urgently. Women, children and the elderly are the most affected by the ongoing drought, since they are limited in terms of movement to search for greener pastures to alleviate pangs of hunger. Leaders in the region have, however, come together through the county's Public Service and Disaster Management Committee to distribute food to residents of Turkana Central, one of the areas most affected.
Kwa jumla leo tumepeana chakula kwa vituo vine. Hii ni jambo ambayo tulianza mwisho wa mwezi wa pili na tunaendelea kufanya, na tunatarajia ya kwamba kufikia wiki ya 4 mwezi huu tuwe tumekamilisha maneno ya kugawa chakula.
The current drought situation affecting most parts of the county, it's at a late stage, with Turkana West and Kilifi sub-counties being at an alarm stage. Normal rains normally expected here between March and May fail, then it means we will have another 6 months of more drier situation.
So far, 2 people have died of hunger at Garissa village in Turkana Central. Turkana is among 12 counties experiencing drought. A drought status and response report by the National Drought Management Authority indicates that the worst regions include the northeastern counties of Garissa, Marsabit, Wajir and Mandera.
Now, information reaching NTV insinuates that a man by the name Ragira killed Thursday evening near hostels of the University of Nairobi was not a student. It is indicated that Ragira, who was known by many as OCS, Officer Commanding Students, had been expelled and became a ringleader, terrorizing traders in Club 36 area, which is common in selling affordable food for students. The market was raised down by goons, and we're now joined live by Mel Miendo, who is at the scene. Mel, what else can you tell us?
Gladys, first of all, this place has a lot of tension. There's tear gas in the air. Some tear gas canisters have gone off just a few minutes ago. But what you can see behind me, this is Club 36, and you have mentioned that this is the common place where the students usually come here to eat. But this is what is remaining. This place was raised down, and what I have been told is that it was about a week ago that there was a fire in this place. So you can see the entire area. This is how it looks. The traders here that I have spoken to say there's no business, and there has been no business for like about 3 weeks now. And they say they have been terrorized by goons who come here every single day asking for money, and yet they must be given that money come what may. The traders here tell me that if they don't give out their money, then whatever they have, if it's food or their stalls, it will be destroyed by these goons. Now, there's a lot of controversy surrounding Ragira's death. You have mentioned it, Gladys, there in your introduction, and that's exactly what we are getting here. They say that he was not a student. They also say that he was part of a team that has been coming here to terrorize the traders in this place. Now, there are some who tried to put up their business in this area, especially selling chapatis to students. But that didn't work out because there's still a lot of tension in this place. They're not sure whether they'll get back to business or not. They say that this place rakes down about 700,000 Kenya shillings daily. And so now, because they've not been able to do their business for about a few days, actually going into a week, they've been losing a lot of money. I spoke to some students and they say that they now can't find an affordable place for them to go and get food. And so it's an issue that is not only for students, but also for the traders in this place. Now, the issue about goons, Gladys, allow me to just quickly give you an update, is that the traders here have told me that it's an issue they have been telling authorities for a while, but they were afraid to follow it up because these people come and tell them that we know these people, and so there's nothing that can be done against them. And so even now, with the issue surrounding the death of that man going by the name Ragira, he's called by many here, they know him as OCS. And so when you come here and you ask about OCS, are referring to the deceased. And so they are saying that now with that death, they don't know whether their future will continue in this place, especially with regards to business. It's a very touchy issue, Gladys. There's a lot of stories around here. There's a lot of issues. And so we'll just try to piece up all this. And so later on, we'll be giving you the latest as we get it from here.
Thank you, Mel Miendo, speaking to us from the University of Nairobi, and clearly conflating reports coming from there, even as we get information that insinuates that the man by the name Ragira killed Thursday evening near hostels of the University of Nairobi was not a student, and it is indicated that Ragira, who was known by many as OCS or officer commanding students, had been expelled and became a ringleader terrorizing traders in Club 36 area, which is common in selling affordable food for students. As you've heard from Mel, there seems to be other reports about who he was and what he stood for in as far as that club is concerned, and we shall be bringing you a bit more detail in our subsequent bulletins. Now to other day stories, and NIC Bank is now set to acquire sole control of CBA Bank and its subsidiaries. Now, following acceptance of the offer it made to shareholders of a privately held bank. This places CBA's regional footprint in Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda under the control of NIC Bank. In the latest update on the merger, which kicked off in December 2018, directors of the two banks indicate that as of March 11th, 2019, shareholders commanding 98% of CBA's issued share capital had accepted the offer for a share swap made by NIC Bank. The entity resulting from the merger of the two banks will see CBA shareholders hold a controlling stake of 53%. The merged bank is expected to commence operations within the third quarter of 2019, commanding an asset base of 444 billion shillings as per the September 2018 filings. Now, a group of peace crusaders in Garissa town has urged their resident community to embrace peace and unity, especially at this time when water and pasture are scarce in the area. The group staged a walk in the streets of Garissa town to sensitize residents on the importance of peace to the social and economic development. Now, the youth were asked to reject being used by politicians into causing chaos in exchange for handouts, and the group brought together Garissa Peace Committee and women mediators alongside other stakeholders in the region.
Vijana ndio huwa wanatumika kila mara kufanya vujo na vita, na wao ndio wanakuwa affected na hiyo. Nahimiza vijana wenzangu, amani ni jambo la maana. Msitumike na mtu yoyote kutimiza lengo lake, hasa wakati wa uchaguzi. Wao vijana wanatumika kuenda kupigana na wenzao, na wanaonufaika ni wale walikuwa wanatumia wao.
Sababu amani inahusu kila mtu, si mtu mmoja, si mtu fulani, hatupati jukumu mtu fulani. So tunasema kila mtu atekeleze kwa laini ile anashika.
Pasipo na amani hakutakuwa na maisha yote, hakutakuwa na elimu, hakutakuwa na uchumi, mambo yote itasambaratika. Bao ni wakati wa ukame, wafugaji wanapigania maji na malisho, na pia hata katika town watu wanapigania maplot.
To health matters, the nomadic lifestyle of communities in West Pokot counties and the stigma associated being with HIV or having HIV are still hurdles that the county is looking to jump over in the fight against HIV and AIDS in the country. However, there is a ray of hope as more mothers living with HIV are leading in the fight against the scourge in the county by mentoring other mothers to ensure that they deliver in hospital to prevent transmission of the virus to the newborns during pregnancy and after delivery.
Mothers in West Pokot County are on the lead fighting HIV to curb and prevent mother-to-child transmission. Mothers living with HIV and gave birth to children whose status are negative have geared up the role of mother mentorship program to assist HIV pregnant mothers give birth to negative babies.
I'm proud of you na kuweza kujitokeza na kuja kujifungulia wapi? Hospitali. Na sababu ya upendo ya watoto wetu ili kuja tuweze kupata matibabu na kuweza kuhakikisha kwamba afya ya mtoto wetu inatoka nini, watoto wetu wanatoka nini negative.
According to a report from the Ministry of Health, 515 children have been born negative and only 16 positive children this year from mothers who are HIV positive in the county. On Thursday, the county celebrated the success of elimination of mother-to-child transmission in Kapenguria, where 50 children who were born HIV negative from HIV-positive mothers graduated. The event was organized by the Ministry of Health and Empath Plus. The county has more than 6,000 people living with the virus, with the prevalence rate at 1.6%. However, stigma and discrimination still remain challenges in fighting HIV in the county, as the infected people are still perceived as a curse in the society.
Mbona tunaogopa? Matibabu ni bure. Hautalipishwa kitu. Njoo tu kuwa tested, ikiwa uko positive. Matibabu yako, uishi maisha mazuri. Na uwe na jamii yako na utunze jamii yako.
Tukiangalia hawa mama, nafikiri zote tunaweza tukakubaliana ya kwamba ni wamama ambao wana furaha, si ni kweli? Ni wamama ambao wana afya nzuri. Ni wamama ambao wako sawa kabisa hata kuliko sisi ambao tumekaa hapa.
Migration of residents to the neighboring country, Uganda, has led to a number of defaulters who are on ARV treatment.
Tumeshakubaliana pia na authorities ya Uganda kwamba madaktari wetu wanaweza kufuata na kuhakikisha kwamba wanapata dawa yao kwa wakati ufao.
Residents have been urged to embrace HIV testing. County health officials want men to turn up in numbers as they form the largest population of those not aware of their status, risking the spread of the disease. Eunice Omolo, NTV.
To the coast now, the health department in Mombasa County is working on a kidney transplant program to offer clinical solutions for people suffering from kidney diseases in the region. The county executive in charge of health, Hazel Koitaba, says plans to construct the renal unit at the Mombasa Level 5 Teaching and Referral Hospital will be included in the next financial year. Koitaba also added that her ministry is also putting up necessary measures to ensure that the campaign against kidney-related complications will be done across the county. She said the milestone will cement the hospital's position as a center of clinical excellence in the region and across the country, which will be equipped with state-of-the-art equipment that will provide treatment to patients with kidney failure. And staying with kidney health, a group of people who have undergone kidney transplant are calling on the National Hospital Insurance Fund to consider covering post-kidney transplant medication. Speaking at Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital in Eldoret during the World Kidney Day celebrations yesterday, they said most of them cannot afford the drugs as they are too expensive. Most of the post-transplant drugs, medically referred to as immunosuppressants, range from 40 to 60,000 shillings per month. After the transplant, one is expected to use the medicine for the rest of their life. They have, however, thanked the government for making dialysis services available in various parts of the country.
Kama mtu amekuwa member ya NHIF, lazima watibiwe wawe equal. Si hata wengine wanalipa 200 wanapewa dawa, wanasapotiwa, na wala wanalipa 500 hawezi pata support. Na hiyo hapo sio haki.
this year, it's tremendous achievement that we have now in this country. Every county having a dialysis center, it calls for a celebration.
A lorry carrying an undisclosed number of charcoal sacks has been impounded in Mombasa, with police refusing to reveal details of the owner. Sources, however, indicated that the charcoal belongs to an influential businessman who is allegedly trying to maneuver his way and escape from the hands of justice. Police did not disclose information about the whereabouts of the driver and his aide, who are believed to have been released. This comes a day after President Uhuru Kenyatta pledged at the United Nations complex in Gigiri to achieve at least 10% forest cover in the next 3 years as the country struggles with fighting the charcoal trade. Education matters. The county government of Isiolo has rolled out a 35 million shilling bursary fund for needy students in the county for the remaining part of 2019. Governor Mohammed Kuti says the funds will be disbursed at ward level as opposed to the previous years where allocation process was done at the county headquarters. He urges that this made it easy for the bursaries to be interfered with, hence failing to benefit the targeted students. During the launch, Governor Kuti flagged off 15,000 textbooks for the competency-based curriculum to be distributed across 164 centers in the county.
Nataka mwaka ijayo hata ikue bora zaidi. Check ikuje na jina ya mtoto. Check tunaandikia sasa jina ya mtoto. Hapana andikia ward, hapana andikia shule. Tunaenda kwa ward, inakuja mtoto, hapana. Yani unaandika check ya amount yake na huko nyuma imeandikwa jina ya mtoto na line up. Wakienda huko ward, hapana peleka check moja. Watoto na wazazi wanapiga line, wanapewa check yao, ndio wapeleke ile check wao wenyewe wapeleke. Vile wanapeleka pesa, wazazi ndio wanapeleka kwa shule. Basi wapewe check, wapeleke check yao kwa shule na wapewe risiti kwamba wamelipa.
Now, Kenyans are being called upon to donate blood even when there is no emergency they are attending to, so as to build up the country's blood bank to the requisite 450,000 units of blood. This is according to Red Cross Secretary General Abbas Gule, who was speaking at a blood drive put together by DSTV and Red Cross under a campaign dubbed For the Throne, in theme with the popular TV series Game of Thrones. The funds in Nairobi were, quote, bleeding for the throne in a blood drive, which is to run through to the 16th of March at the Nairobi National Archives. The need for blood donation has been reiterated, as currently, in the event of an emergency, families and friends of patients have to give blood and appeal for well wishes to do so in support, only hoping for enough to be given.
We really need to go out and look for these 450,000 units of blood, so that the National Blood Transfusion Services and all the blood banks, both government and the private ones, are filled up. So when an ordinary Kenyan or even non-Kenyan who resides in this country needing blood would then be able to get blood without being forced to replace.
So it's not every day that fans of the most popular show of all time, like Game of Thrones, are given a chance to prove their loyalty by participating in a global exercise like this one taking place here today.
Further afield, aircraft manufacturer Boeing will still continue building its 737 MAX models, but has halted deliveries of the planes to customers. This is to allow for investigations into the exact cause of 2 crashes in less than 6 months, with the latest crash being that of Ethiopian Airlines flight ET302. The United States was the last region in the world to ban the 737 MAX planes, even as preliminary investigations point to striking similarities between the ET flight and the Lion Air flight JT610, which killed 189 people last year. All 371 737 MAX models globally have been grounded at least May. In the U.S., some of the carriers will have to bear significant additional costs, alternatives for passengers who had already booked People, including children, have been killed in a terror attack in New Zealand and 48 more injured as a gunman stormed into and fired at worshippers in two mosques in the capital, Christchurch. New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern says 30 people were killed at the Masjid Al Nur Mosque and 10 others killed in a mosque in the suburb of Linwood. New Zealand police have arrested 4 people as investigations continue.
Global cricket.
Families trying to come to terms with the shocking news of the loss of their loved ones. This is after a man reported to have been dressed in a military-style camouflage outfit, carrying Very, very unfortunate. Now back home, a family in Mukuru, Okwajenga, Nairobi County is searching for the 16-year-old boy who went missing from their home. Joseph Omingo Obara, a Form 3 student at Star of Hope Secondary School, went missing on 1st of March at 4 p.m. And according to the father, the boy ran away from home after he was threatened by his neighbor who accused him of defiling a 4-year-old girl. He was last seen wearing a black jeans with a black and white t-shirt, and the parents have reported the incident at Mukuru Kwajenga police post and are now pleading with anyone who might have seen him or who has any information to report to the nearest police station or contact 0751 265 445. I'll repeat that number, 051 265 445.
Lala kwa kiti hapo. Papa mzazi mama alitoka kazi akakuja akauliza mtoto wake. Kuulizia kijana wangu akaamuza yule mtoto penye alikuwa analala akampea mama mzazi wa mtoto. Bila aliingia hapo ndio walitengeneza Kiswahili eti kijana wangu alikuwa analepu huyo mtoto. Mtoto alikuwa 4 years. Akachukua huyo mtoto kwa kliniki. Akamuangalia akamwambia mtoto hakuna mahali kino kitu amefanywa. Nikapata wameitana. Ule papa mzazi wameitana watu wa kwao wanataka kupiga kijana yangu. Kijana yangu akatoka hivyo kujua alikuwa anataka kuwa, akasema ni yeye wamuue. Akatoroka, ndio sababu amepotea mpaka saa hizi.
Well, if you have any information on Joseph Omingo Obara's whereabouts, remember that number is 0751 265 445. Now, coal-fired power plants have been found to disrupt rainfall patterns more than 1,000 kilometers away, according to a new 15-year international study. The study indicates filtration systems on modern coal-fired power stations are the biggest source of ultra-fine particles that travel hundreds of kilometers, coagulate, and then cause significant changes to the climate in several ways. The report comes even as more opposition grows towards Kenya's plan to mine coal in Kitui County and develop our 1,000 megawatts coal-fired power plant in Lamu County.
A band investment for the Kenyan government.
Safaricom has opened its fourth call center in Eldoret, Uasin Gishu County, making it the second largest call center outside Nairobi in a move aimed at improving its customers' experience. Now, the company's chief customer officer, Sylvia Mulenge, says the new hub, built at the cost of 900 million shillings, will enhance efficiency in the region. The facility has a capacity to handle over 150,000 calls daily, helping to resolve customer queries much faster. Now, the man behind the troubled Gakuyo Sacco has moved to court, challenging the 1 billion shilling surcharge imposed on him. David Ngare, alias Gakuyo, says the audit report by the Commissioner of Cooperatives was falsified and wants the Sacco's management committee reinstated. According to the report, more than 1 billion shillings belonging to 78,000 members of Gakuyo Sacco was siphoned through a scheme by Gakuyo. Gakuyo, who says that the outcome of the report was pre-planned, also seeks to prohibit any recommendations tabled by the report, including auditing of the Sacco's accounts for 2017 and 2018. In February, the Commissioner of Cooperatives obtained orders stopping Gakuyo from selling hotels and land belonging to his real estate company. Time for sports now. Sean Cadavillas is in studio.
Sports news now. The new Cabinet Secretary for Sports, Amina Mohammed, has had her first public speaking. Well, she's spoken for the first time publicly about various issues to do with her ministry. And one of the few things that she's spoken about, she didn't talk a lot, by the way, not making a lot of stuff public. But what she did confirm is that the Kenya Open, the magical Kenya Open, that has been approved, the 250 million shilling sponsorship, and also the money for Harambee Stars. There's been all sorts of talk about what was going to happen about the 50 million shillings promised by the Deputy President, and it has been confirmed by her that it is part of the 244 million shillings promised to Harambee Stars. That is, of course, for the preparations and for the Africa Cup of Nations tournament. Here's what she had to say this morning.
I will build on everything that has happened here before. I will learn from what has been done well and continue on that path. Anything that we think needs improvement, we will improve. But, you know, again, I'm here for a few days. I will have a comprehensive meeting with you and have an event where I can talk to you about what my plans are. I think today I would really appreciate if we just focused on the Kenya Open because it's a really huge event that's taking place in our country. As I told you, it's one of the only countries on the continent where this is happening, and we want to try and actually utilize this opportunity as best as we can.
The new Cabinet Secretary for Sports, Amina Mohammed. Now, backed by sponsors Kenya Commercial Bank, the KCB women's volleyball team has spent the past week acclimatizing in Cairo, Egypt, and that's ahead of the CAVB Women's Africa Club Championship that serves off on Saturday. The Bankers finished second in the Kenya Volleyball Federation League playoffs last year to qualify for the Continental Championships for the first time since 2015. Their last triumph in Africa was in 2006, and the Bankers are banking on the experience of coach Japheth Munala and 6 players poached from rivals Kenya Pipeline to secure success. Kenya is also represented by Pipeline and Prison's women's teams. On to football, and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang scored twice to help send Arsenal into the Europa League quarter-finals, beating Rennes 3-0 at the Emirates for a 4-3 aggregate. Rennes led the tie 3-1, but an Aubameyang double and an Ainsley Maitland-Niles goal ensured Arsenal went through. Olivier Giroud scored a hat-trick as Chelsea thrashed Dynamo Kiev 5-0 to sail through 8-0 on aggregate. A five-time Europa League winners Sevilla are out, as a last-minute Slava Prague goal in extra time saw the hosts win 4-3. Shootings before the third test against New Zealand, which has been cancelled. A spokesperson for the Bangladesh Cricket Board said most of the team had gone to the mosque by bus and were about to go inside when the shooting took place. 2 mosques were targeted, with the deadliest attack taking place at the Al Nur Mosque in the city centre, which the Bangladesh team were planning to attend. The New Zealand cricket team confirmed members of both sides were safe. Lewis Hamilton enjoyed the perfect start to his F1 2019 season by topping both of the Australian Grand Prix opening practice sessions, with Mercedes opening up a significant advantage over their rivals. After Hamilton only marginally edged out the Ferraris in the first practice, the world champion led a dominant Mercedes 1-2 in practice. That was practice 2, by the way. Valtteri Bottas finished 0.048 of a second behind Hamilton's 1 minute 20.
What's going on? Pierre Gasly is going
And of course, the Melbourne Grand Prix, it's on Sunday morning. Melbourne, of course, 8 hours ahead. Just getting the latest from the Kenya Open, the magical Kenya Open. Day 2, of course, on at the Karen Country Club. Simon Ngige is having an up and down round. He's currently on 2 under. And the leader at the moment is Louis De Jager from South Africa. He's shot -5 so far, and he's on 12 under at the moment. Yesterday's leader, joint leader, Jack Singh Bra, shooting 1 under at the moment. He shot 1 under for his round, and he is at 8 under. All right, in fact, let's go to the Karen Country Club, where Ida Waringa is there. Ida, what's the latest? It's been a tough day for the Kenyans so far.
Yes, Sean, it really has. It's day 2 and round 2 here at the magical Kenya Open. And as you've just put through some of the results, but going back into yesterday, Sean, you were here and you knew exactly what was going on and the feeling right here on a course. Because, of course, Singh Brar and, as you've put it, Louis De Jager were topping the leaderboard yesterday. They did shoot 7 under. It's been quite the different situation today, especially for Singh Brar, who is currently second. He had a rough morning. At some point, he was positioned around 4th and 5th, but still the same for Louis De Jager, who's doing quite well, rather. topping the leaderboard there. And number 3 is G. Bolar, and of course, he is leading Migliosi in 4th. Now, the big news of the day, however, is about Dismas Ndiza. He teed off at around 1 p.m. That was maybe around 45 minutes ago, Sean, and it's not been quite the good one for him, but even worse, I would imagine, for Greg Snow. We all know how well Greg Snow has been doing so far in the tour. Greg Snow is currently positioned at number 99, Sean, and he has shot at 99, or rather a 3 over, positioned at 99. It's quite windy, you'll forgive me. And of course, the big news being that the projected cut is currently at 1 over. So what that means is that there's a huge shot of Greg Snow not actually making it and going home today. Now, I do have someone joining me here, that being Charles Munyasa. A lot of people, of course, always focus on the golfers and what's currently going on the golf course, but it wouldn't be possible without the caddies. Charles Munyasa here being the chairman of the Kenya National Caddies Association. Maybe you can join me on set, Charles. Thanks for your time. Just very quickly, you can tell us the role that caddies have. Lots of people focus on the golfers. Tell us about what you do.
Yeah, my name is Charles Munyasa. First of all, I would like to thank President Uhuru Kenyatta for bringing this tournament, making this tournament to be successfully. A lot of players from outside that have come to play. This is being one of the biggest day for us in Kenya. About 85% caddies from outside that are enjoying caddying pros. While in Kenya, about 30-40 caddies who are caddying, especially the ones from Karen. Other clubs were not allowed to come and participate in this tournament.
All right.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And maybe you can tell us your thoughts so far on the Magical Kenya Open before we hand it back to studio. It's day 2.
Yeah, this Magic Kenya Open, I'm very impressed with it, and I would say let's bring more professionals for playing this tournament, and let also our caddies gain experience from them. Also, it is very bad for our caddies to miss this caddying, because this is where they would have come and gain a lot of experience from these professional caddies from outside. Pros.
All right, thanks so much for your insight. That being Mr. Charles Munyasa, who is the chairman of the Kenya National Caddies Association. We'll be sure to bring you more. Sean, as you've put it, not too good of a day for the local pros. We did have Samuel Njoroge, who was the best placed amateur yesterday in terms of the local amateurs. We'll be sure to tell you more about that as the day does go on. However, that's pretty much it for us here at the Magical Kenya Open. It's back to you in studio, Sean.
Thank you very much. Ida Waringa, of course, learning a lot of golf today. And of course, we'll be keeping you in touch with the latest from the Magical Kenya Open. Just a quick point, it's worthwhile noting that a lot of the professional golfers from overseas have their own caddies and of course will be coming. So about 85% of the field are international golfers. So of course, about 85% of them will be international caddies. All right, the latest from the Magical Kenya Open, as you heard, the cut will be projected to be about +1. We'll keep you up to date with that later on. But that's the latest sports for now, and back to you, Gladys.
Thank you, Sean Cadavillas, with the latest from the sporting world. Looking forward to a lot more magic coming from the Karen Golf Club. And it is an afternoon for us here. Thank you for your company. Thank you for watching us. And remember, more comprehensive bulletins coming your way in our subsequent bulletins. Have a good afternoon. My name is Gladys Gashanja.